Hey guys, in this video today we're going to be taking a look at how to deep clean your alloy wheels whilst they're still on the car. Hey, so welcome back, and if this is your first time here, my name's Matt. So as I say, today we're going to be taking a look at how to deep clean your alloy wheels and get into them properly whilst keeping them on the car. Not everybody has access to a garage or even a driveway where they can take the wheels off nice and safely. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now we're going to get straight into it, and you just need some basic products really. So running water, it can be a pressure washer or a hose pipe. I've grabbed the hose pipe today, and a bucket of shampoo water as well, a bit of suds in there with whatever wheel brushes it is you're choosing to use based on the design of your alloys. Product wise, you're just going to need a wheel cleaner, a tar remover, an iron remover, and then some sort of protection. But we are going to be deep cleaning these, so we're going to go on to an extra step, and that is polishing the wheels as well. And we've got a couple of options there. So you may want to machine polish these if you've got a little Nano machine polisher, or just hand polish them. And if they're black, then something like super resin polish from Auto Glim will fill in those swirls. Let's be honest, if you've got black wheels on a daily driven car, you ain't going to be keeping them pristine anyway, no matter how hard you try. Oh, and you're also going to need something to dry the car with, so I'm going to be using the Blow Air GT Dry. You can just use drying towels if you wish, and some gloves and a kneeling mat just to be extra safe and comfortable, because it might take you about 15-20 minutes per wheel. So yeah, let's get into this. Right, so first of all, I'm going to start off with a pressure washer or hose pipe, and basically we're just going to be rinsing off a lot of the surface dust before we apply any wheel cleaner. Some choose to do this dry, I used to, but yeah, let's get rid of a lot of the surface dust first of all. And make sure, especially if you're using a hose, to get into the barrel as well. So that's that, and just while some of that drips off, I'll just say normally I would be cleaning the tyres at this stage. But yeah, I did a video on that just a couple of days ago. You've probably seen that already. So I'm not really going to be touching the tyres today, but make sure you check that. I'll put a link to that up there. So once you've done that, then the first product you want to grab is your wheel cleaner. Now, you can use the bleeding wheel cleaner types if you wish, but I like to use a dedicated wheel cleaner. Unless you know the car's not been done for a while, a bleeding wheel cleaner can be overkill. So I'm just going to go with a dedicated cleaner, and this trigger feels like it's about to go. So see if we can get through this. Make sure you get a wheel cleaner with a decent trigger on it. Right, so back with a different trigger head, much better. And make sure you get into the barrels as well. Really get in there and spray, obviously spray from different angles. Make sure you get full coverage of your wheel. So while it starts working away just for a couple of minutes, I just want to mention a couple of brushes you can use. So for me, I'm going with the wheel woolies. On gloss black wheels, they're the best choice, and you might want a couple of different sizes well to get in all the bits and bobs. So yeah, I've got the biggest one that they did way back when I bought these, and the medium one for the little spokey bits there. And of course a detailing brush for the faces as well. So yeah, it's had a couple of minutes working away, so yeah, we'll get in and clean those up. So to say, my bucket here, then I've got some soapy solution as well, just to help lubricate things, and get right into the barrels first of all. This is the bit I like to clean and get done first and foremost. And once you're satisfied they're clean, obviously if you've got any intricate designs, get in there with the smaller brush, even if it's just cleaning the faces like this bit here. The big brush should have done barrels, obviously. It's worth also mentioning you can buy wheel mitts as well. I've got a Captain Crevice from Dodo Juice, and it's like a glove basically. You can just wrap your fingers around the back of the spokes if you want to get that far into it. Depending on the weather as well, don't be afraid to top up the wheel cleaner. You know, especially get the faces, the last bits to get done, and it might just dried out. So top that up, and we'll just get the detail brush, clean the faces, and that's practically gonna be it. So for me, I like to do the very front and the rim, the outer lip first of all. Typically starting at the top, or you can start at the dust cap, wherever that be on the car, but I like to start at 12 o'clock and work around. As always, if you've watched this channel a lot, you'll hear me say it a lot, just be methodical. Whatever works best for you. Go anti-clockwise if you want. And then same again, we'll start up here and clean the painted gloss black areas. And get right into the corners where the spoke as such meets the barrel. Back at 12 o'clock. And then one last time we'll get in here just in case that wheel woolly didn't get it all thoroughly. And then last but not least, the centre cap and the wheel nuts. And that's a clean wheel, so we'll just rinse that off now. So right now you don't have to be worried too much if there's a few suds left on. It doesn't really matter, we're going to hit it with a tar remover. So once again, get in there with that. Now realistically from this point onwards, getting into the barrels with a tar remover or an iron remover is going to be very, very tricky. You can, but you're not going to be able to agitate in, so you might just want to spray that in there, let it do its thing, melt the tar and rinse it off, and it does what it does. Iron is a bit better, that will get rid of it pretty much, like 90%, but realistically to get the barrels done properly you want to take the wheels off. If you want to see me do a full wheels off detail, just leave a comment below, and yeah, we'll look at doing that. I've got a few donor cars around here that can certainly do with a wheels off detail. So yeah, just spray your tar remover all over, and with my microfiber over here, it's going to be very tricky, so I'm just going to leave you zoomed out there. It's going to be quite tricky seeing tar. Hello Mr. Wasp on the camera. It's going to be tricky seeing tar on black wheels, but basically just work your way around. There's a bit there. Try and get it removed if you can. Well, I say try, you will get it removed. Obviously you've got the right tools for the job. And again, this is similar to actually cleaning the wheel. Just go around methodically. I know I seem to have gone a bit all over the place, but start in one place. So I started here, work your way around. And if you have to, repeat this application. You kind of do when you're doing the bodywork anyway. So don't forget to get into the lug nut holes, wheel nut holes here in the UK. Yeah, there's not a great deal of tar on here. Happy days. They look nice and clean. Tiny bit of tar there. As I say, I'm not going to get my hands in, but you can if you've got small hands and big wheel spokes. You can get your hand in and do the best you can. And then we'll give that another rinse. So with the tar done and wheel rinsed off, it's onto the iron decon stage. So again, you're not really going to see a great deal. I'll just probably do the silver bits. But if you've never used iron fallout remover, it will turn purple. It's more noticeable on a silver alloy. And this, depending how bad the wheels are, you can just leave it and rinse it off, or you can give it some agitation with a microfiber or another detailing brush. We'll see how purple this turns. It can take about 5 minutes. So yeah, we'll see how purple this turns and see if any agitation is required. So those who have never used fallout removers, as you can see on the brake disc just there, it turns purple on contact with iron. So like I say, if you've got silver wheels, happy days, it will show up. But in this case, you're not really going to see a great deal. Plus the fact I kind of look after them rather well. Still, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and just quickly give this a little bit of agitation with a microfiber. So the wheels are pretty immaculate anyway. I like to keep on top of these. I used to hate doing wheels years ago. I think products these days have just made it a whole lot easier. A little bit of purple there, getting a bit of purple. So yeah, there's a little bit of iron. Of course, you're going to get it from your brake dust anyway, so no car's immune to it. But what you can do is stop the build up of iron, especially in the corners here. It's what you tend to see on cars that really don't get detailed all that often, if ever at all. So once you've gone around and done what you need to do, as I say, I'm just speeding this up for you guys, give it another rinse, and that'll be the final rinse before we go ahead and dry it. So we're done with the wet work now then. I'm going to go ahead and dry it using a blow dryer, but you can just towel dry this or wait till you finish the rest of your detail session, by which time they should be dry anyway. So yeah, let's dry this before we get on to the next stage. So it's at this stage now then you can choose to either call it done and just put a layer of protection on the wheels, so whether it's a ceramic coating, a sealant, or some wax, or dedicated wheel protection. In fact, you don't really see anyone using that these days. Today I'm going to be using a spray wax. However, first we are going to give him a quick polish. Like I said, we're giving him a deep clean today. That's what I'm showing you guys how to do. So first of all, we'll start off by doing a hand polish. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know how to do this, but for that, on black wheels, as I said at the beginning, you're probably going to be better off with Auto Glim Super Resin. Let me just grab that. So with Super Resin polish, simply just a case, give it a shake up, get a German applicator pad and apply a tiny amount. So you can tell, first of all, this is my wheel one. And just apply a tiny amount onto the tip just there. Again, methodical, just pick a spot and just work that. Now you don't need to go too hard, especially on these kind of diamond cut ones. You see white worm come on there, and that's where the lacquers meet. So you don't want to rub too hard and cause any damage. But essentially with Super Resin polish, this is going to go ahead and fill in any swirl marks and minor imperfections that you will pick up on your wheels. So buff that all over. Now the beauty with this Super Resin polish, you can just leave it, and you can do the face as well, of course, and just leave that to cloud up, and it doesn't take long at all. And then just buff that off with a clean microfiber towel. One tip as well, it is probably worthwhile thinking about it, just rolling the car backwards or forwards, so you're not having to work down at the very bottom, down near the ground, where you might just pick up some stones or grit. Yeah, I probably should have done that myself, really. And the other method, as I mentioned at the beginning, is obviously a nano machine polish. So I'm just going to be using this with a little bit of Auto Fanatic Secret Weapon. I use this on VW Scirocco last year. I'll put a link to that up there. Yeah, and it brought those alloys up really, really well. So just a pea-sized amount onto there. Let's just bring the camera in. You just dab that around where I'm going to be polishing. I probably could have picked a better space than where the tyre valve is, but anyway, I'm just, again, showing you guys. I'm going to leave the protective cover on this, just in case I catch anything. Yeah, let's go. So with these, you don't need much pressure. Let's get the speed cranked up. Told you, you don't need much pressure whatsoever to stall these. Ignore me, nothing to do with pressure. Battery gone dead. So let's go again. So we'll just do one small section at a time, buff that off. Also helps like reduce the amount of residue you're going to be slinging about as well. Now these bits, you're still going to have to do that by hand. Even this is going to be a bit big and a bit tight to get into there. So yeah, you're still going to have to do these bits, especially on this design wheel, by hand. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with the rest of the wheel. So as you can see, with one of these nano machine polishers, it makes the job a hell of a lot easier, and those wheels are looking about the shiniest they've ever been since I did a video about 3 years ago on cleaning the wheels off your car. So let's move on to doing a layer of protection. Whew, bloody warm. So for protection then on this, I'm just going to be using this fast wax from Detailed Online. Now if you're using any spray based products, make sure you try and spray away from the brakes. So yeah, or if in doubt, spray directly into the microfiber. And it doesn't hurt to put an extra spray on there anyway. And just liberally apply this. We're going to be taking it off in a minute anyway. Just let it buff to a haze, or dry to a haze, should I say. Of course, if you're doing ceramic, it's a different process. As I said, that really needs wheels off, but we'll touch on that in another video if that's what you want to see. And with a clean side or with a fresh microfiber, give that a minute or two to buff to a haze, or dry to a haze, should I say, and buff that off. And there we have it, guys. I'm sure you can agree, they look nice and clean. The reflection, look at it. So just because they're wheels doesn't mean you shouldn't take care of them, doesn't mean they can't shine and pop. It just takes a little bit more time, and as I say, just be realistic. So yeah, just because of the wheels then, it doesn't mean you can't get them to shine and pop like the rest of your paintwork. Just be realistic, really. Are you going to be able to maintain these to such a high standard on a daily driven car? Probably not, which is why normally I just keep them clean, try and keep the tar and iron down to a minimum, and then just put a spray sealant on these. Obviously, if you've got a show condition car, happy days, it's going to be well worth it. So yeah, there we go. It's pretty much straightforward, as simple as that. If you'd like to see wheels off detail, let me know in the comments below. We have done it in the past, but it's probably time for a refresh and update one. I've got some extra machines and equipment now. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, just click this button up here and subscribe. That'd be much appreciated. And we'll put a couple of videos here and here that we think you might like. So yeah, hope you enjoy this, and we'll see you in the next one.